I'm here with Neil Evans, organizer of the Crystal Cup. Neil, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening here this weekend.
So lots of hockey, of course, lots of pond hockey out on the lake. We also have a public rink and kids rink for skating, as well as a very large gardens we're going to have on site again, hosted by Mr. Mike's with live music right on the lake.
I see. So for people who might not be familiar with what the Crystal Cup's all about, tell us a little bit about the tournament and how it started.
So the tournament back in I think it was 2011, we were approached by the city of Fort St. John as part of the winter festival in town to have a hockey portion to it. So we actually originally joined the High and Ice Winterfest and started the pond hockey out here on Charlie Lake, and then a few years later we just opted out and just decided to have it on our own weekend. We've just year after year since 2011 gotten bigger and bigger and bigger on site here.
I see. So how popular, can you give us a picture of how popular it is out here?
It's actually, when the weather's nice, it's very popular, of course, right? So we've had a few years where it was minus 30 and very, very cold out. We didn't see too many spectators and people, but the team stuck around. Last year was probably the most we've ever seen on site, and I'd say easily between 500 and 1,000 people a day out on site. Spectators, people out here skating on the public rinks, and people attending the gardens, of course, which is a very hot ticket here in town.
I see. So tell us about these gardens. What kind of things are going to be served for spectators?
So there'll be Mr. Mike's that are hosting the gardens, and I think they're going to have a nice big ice bar again this year. So they'll have, of course, beverages for adults, as well as there'll be live music and probably a few fun games inside there. Usually it's just a mix of everything in there, and then the music goes from 7 to 11 or 7 to midnight, both Friday and Saturday night, and should be a good time, and might even throw some karaoke in the mix, who knows.
So aside from the main Crystal Cup division, there's also going to be a Coal Cup and something called the Sapphire Cup. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
So the Crystal Cup's our main open division, and that's just anyone who wants to come out. There are some pretty good teams in there, and it's all about fun, of course, but there's a trophy at the end of that one. There is also the Coal Cup. That's our seasoned division, or our experienced division, 40 plus. We only have a couple entries right now. And then there's the Sapphire Cup. We went on hiatus there for a few years just because there wasn't a good turnout for the women's division, which is the Sapphire Cup. And then this year we already have 6 teams, which is really good to see. So we'll have a nice, strong women's division out here as well.
So this isn't the first year that the Sapphire Cup's running, but you said it's coming back this year?
Yeah, we had it a few years ago and we had a good 5-team division, and then we tried to do it again and it kind of just dwindled down, and then we just decided to kind of cancel it out, and then tried to resurrect it again this year with the promise of a few teams coming in that I know. So they definitely came through for us.
Okay, so can you give us an idea of like what the response has been like to registration this year so far?
Registration, it's been probably the most bizarre year. Usually we have a late registration and a lot of people come in at the very end on the last few days of registration. This year we've seen it just kind of trickle in and stay trickle in. It's very interesting what the economy is doing. I don't know if there's lots of people working right now or what's going on, but it'll be an interesting year to see if we have the same numbers, might have a little less than previous years.
Now it sounds like a lot of the entertainment, you were saying adult drinks, is geared more towards the adult crowd, but I understand you also are going to have a rink open for children, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So just straight over here, right when you come off the dock here at the south end of Charlie Lake, there'll be a little kids area. Actually, it's kind of a safe area, not a lot of flying pucks or anything, so there's a little kids rink that will flood out nicely there. There'll be heated tents right next to it. Just down the way there'll be a public rink as well, with heated tents right nearby. So, and then we're going to have a kids event out here on the Saturday from 11 to 3. Kids event will be basically just a few fun and games and stuff like that for kids to enjoy. There'll be a few handouts, and yeah, should be a good time.
So what's kind of the atmosphere like out here on when the tournament kicks off?
Atmosphere, it's well, for us, of course, it's exciting. It's several months in the making, and then a very long week here of a lot of stuff going on. So I think the feel for the general public, a lot of people get really excited about the pond hockey. It's been 6 years now, and a lot of people talk all year about getting ready for it, getting excited for it. The hockey portion of it, most of the guys that we play in the rec league with, they get really excited about it. And then you get the music lovers. So I get to talk to the bands, and they, of course, when we have our open mic night on Friday, they get right pumped to come out here too. They couldn't care less about the hockey. They hear about the music scene, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's interesting.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much for having me.